Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, so today this is our third session of practicals, engineering physics practicals. Already we have covered the discussion on two practicals. The first practical that we have seen was Zener diode characteristics, and the second one we have seen Newton's ring experiment. So related to Zener diode, I have shared the readings with you. With respect to second practical, I have asked you to perform simulation on IIT Bombay's website. I hope you people have done, and you are having now write-ups of all the two practicals, practical number 1 and practical number 2. But when I have seen on Genomio site, I have seen that only 15 students have uploaded practical number 1 and only 5 students have uploaded practical number 2. Okay, so why this is so? What is the problem? Is there any problem? Yes, Siddhi?
PDF मध्ये रीडिंग्स एडिट करून केलेलं पण चालत होतं ना?
Yeah, of course.
येस
That
मॅम,
is
केले
right.
मी.
Okay, so if you have done, upload that files on the Genomio, so I can go for the assessment part. Okay, and in this week again we are going to see another practical. So if you have not done anything till this time, then it will be problematic to you people to cover all that things at once. Okay, so better way, complete the practical on that day only, so that will be convenient to you and as well as convenient for me to access all the files. Okay, so I hope after today's practical you people are going to upload all the three practicals 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so if you are having any problem related to login or uploading, you can contact me at any moment of time through WhatsApp or through a call. So whatever are the problems that we will solve. Okay, so related to today's session, today we are going to see the third practical, which is nothing but the determination of wavelength by using diffraction phenomenon. Okay, so first I'll share the screen and then we will start our discussion.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Pawan?
That one PDF you sent on the group, so can you give some information about that regarding fees?
Regarding notice related to examination form, is that so?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So maybe just a second. Okay. Maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow or within this next week, you people are going to get your result of semester 1. Okay, so once you will get result, of course that result you can see through your login on the BAMU's website. Just like you have given the exam, same website you have to use to see the result. Okay, so through that website, by putting your PRN number and other details, you will get your result. So you have to take the copy of your mark sheet, and along with that you have to submit the required fees. Like if you are all clear in semester 1, then some amount of fees is mentioned in that notice. If some backlogs are there, then of course there will be a little bit more fees. Okay, so exact amount is mentioned in the notice. So that will be that mark sheet will be your examination for semester 2. For semester 1, at the time of admission only, the fees and all things are collected from you people, but for sem 2 you have to provide the copy of your mark sheet. So deadline to submit that form is after result. 10 days are allotted for that activity. And right now, as you people can't come to college in actual, those who can come, of course they can submit form in the college office. Those who can't come over here, for them the email ID of concerned persons are provided. Okay, so you have to take that mark sheet, copy of that mark sheet, take a PDF copy, pay the fees through online mode, details, banking details are provided in the notice, and then you have to submit that form to the mentioned email ID. Okay, for first year students, I think Namdev Vadekar is the sir to whom you have to do the communication. Okay, so his email ID is provided in the notice that you are going to send the mail to that person with your mark sheet. Okay, that activity of course will start once result get declared, but if result get declared tomorrow, then of course you should know what to do next. Okay, so that's why in advance that notice is forwarded to all of you. Is there any query regarding this after this explanation?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, keep.
Ma'am, that in practical there is given some graph, so we are what we have to do of that graph. So I joined late now, so I don't get it.
You have to plot the graph related to the characteristics, like what we have done with respect to Zener diode. We have done some discussion related to the theoretical part. Then I have provided you the readings. So whatever are the readings there for forward bias characteristics and reverse bias characteristics, that you are going to plot on the graph paper. So whatever graph paper you can see, you have to divide that graph paper into 4 sections. Okay, so after having that dividation, the first quadrant that we can see in that 4 sections, the first quadrant you are going to put forward bias characteristics, and in third quadrant you have to put reverse bias characteristics. Okay, so that all the characteristics of Zener diode you can see at a single glance. So that you have to do, and ideal graph related to that is already provided on the manual. Of course your graph should be replication of that ideal graph. Okay, that is expected, and from the graph you can determine Zener breakdown voltage and Zener breakdown current. So that is required with respect to graph. Is there any other query related to the previous practical or that notice and all?
No.
Okay, if not, then we will start discussion with respect to our today's practical. Okay, just a second. So is the screen visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a second, I'll switch off the fan so that I'll get your voice clearly. Okay, so whatever you can see on the screen, that is one page from your lab manual. So aim of the practical is provided to determine the wavelength of HE laser light. Okay, basically as like your previous practical, in previous practical also you people have determined the wavelength of light, but in that experiment, in Newton's ring experiment, you have seen there was a sodium vapor lamp. Okay, so whatever wavelength determination is done in that practical, that is related to wavelength determination of sodium vapor lamp. Now here it is specified that you have to calculate wavelength of HE laser light. So one of the laser source is selected here for the practical, and basically to perform this particular practical you have to take reference of one of the concept of related to light, that is nothing but diffraction of light. So in unit 1 we have already seen what is diffraction of light, how one can get diffraction of light, what are the devices required for the generation of diffraction pattern, and how the diffraction pattern looks in actual, that also we have seen. Now here we are going to calculate wavelength of light using that diffraction phenomenon. Okay, so here you can see the aim is provided to determine wavelength of HENE laser light. And to perform this practical, basically the apparatus are like this. You have to use a HENE laser source, then a grating is required, because as I said, we are going to use the diffraction concept over here. Okay, so we have seen in order to generate a diffraction pattern, grating is required. So grating is the important part as far as this particular practical is concerned. Next to that, for the measurement sake, here the scale is required. So any normal meter scale one can use for this particular practical. Okay. Next, of course, the theoretical part with respect to HENE laser light that you people are going to read at your end. Basically, lasers are nothing but one category of the light sources which emit light. Just a second, somebody wants to join. So lasers belongs to particular category of source of light. They emit monochromatic light, they emit coherent light, and of course the light beam that we can get with the help of laser, that is very fine and highly directional. Okay, so such kind of laser sources, there are various categories of laser sources. So one of the type of laser is nothing but the HENE laser, and here you can see the HENE laser is the first continuous laser. Of course, in our unit number 6 we are going to talk about in more detail with respect to lasers and types of laser, but at this particular point you should know what characteristics that light beam is having. That is nothing but the monochromatic, it is having the high stability and highly directional, and basically it is used for communication engineering. So whatever applications we are saying that it can be used for communication purpose, so while having that applications you should know what wavelength it is having. Okay, so depending upon wavelength one can decide its application. So for that sake you have to calculate wavelength of HENE laser light, and as I said, for this particular thing we are going to use diffraction concept. Here you can see the diagram of HENE laser source. Basically in that HENE, He stands for helium and Ne stands for neon, and you people already know helium and neon are two inert gases. So basically that two inert gases are taken in a glass envelope, and by their combination the lasing action is performed over here, and of course at the output you will get the laser light, and that laser light will be monochromatic, it will emit only one colored light. Okay, so this is related to the diagram, and of course we know this particular thing, that is nothing but the diffraction of light. So whenever a light falls upon a diffraction grating, there will be a particular pattern. So in theory classes I have already given you the idea how the pattern looks. So who will tell how is the diffraction pattern? Like in interference you can see various kinds of fringes, alternate bright and dark fringes. So how is the arrangement of points with respect to diffraction pattern? So who will tell? The question is how is the diffraction pattern? Yes, Prachi.
Yes, ma'am.
How the diffraction pattern looks? Is there any alternate bright and dark bands?
And maybe
Yes,
they
ma'am.
are circular bouncing.
Or you can see bands or some points?
Both, ma'am.
See, you people forget everything. In Marathi there is one proverb, that is पुढचं पाठ मागचं सपाट. So you people work on that line only. Okay, in theory already one graph is shown to you. I have explained you that in diffraction pattern the intensity variation is observed At the middle point, you will have the high amount of intensity. That particular point with high intensity is known as central maxima. Next to central maxima, 2 points you can see, one on the left side, one on the right side. They are known as first order maxima. Next to that, there will be second order maximas on both the sides. And of course, for the second order maxima, intensity will get decreased. Okay, so that I have already explained to you. Same you can see with the help of this particular experiment, but bad luck that you are not visiting the institute in actual and you can't perform this particular practical in actual. Simulation is also not available for this particular practical, but of course we are going to do something with respect to that. What to do, that we will see now. Okay, so basically here, to perform this particular practical, what is done here, the laser source is selected. You have to make this laser source on. Next, diffraction grating is taken over here. Here you can see, with the help of holder, diffraction grating is placed in the path of light. So earlier, if you see, this laser source will emit light in a single direction, or if the diffraction grating is not there at this particular place, you will get a single point on the screen. Here you can consider any wall as a screen. Okay, so if this diffraction grating is not in the path of light, then you will get a 1 point from that laser beam on the screen. But after the insertion of diffraction grating, you will get several points on the screen, and that several points are nothing but the diffraction pattern. At middle, high amount of intensity, then intensity will get decreased for first and second order. Okay, so here you can see the procedure is provided with respect to the practical, that first you have to make the electric power supply on of HENE laser apparatus. Then you have to insert the diffraction grating in the path of light to generate the diffraction pattern on the screen. So that will be the second procedure. Next, important with respect to this practical is you have to measure the distance between grating and the screen. So wherever you have put the grating and wherever is the screen, so you have to take the distance in between grating and the screen. Okay, so that for that you have to use the scale. So with the help of meter scale, you can get the distance between grating and screen, and that you are going to put over here. Okay, now whatever are the measurements, you have to mention for which particular order you are performing the experiment. So if you are considering the first order maximas, then you are going to write here 1. If you are considering the second order maxima, then you have to write 2 in this particular column. Okay, so here you can see the order of spectrum. N is mentioned in the first column. So first we are going to take the measurement for first order, so you have to write 1 over here. Next you are going to take distance in between grating and screen, that you are going to put over here. Next to that, as I said, in the diffraction pattern, how are the points? At middle there will be a highly intense point known as central maxima. On the left hand side there will be a first order maxima. On the right hand side again there will be a first order maxima. So what you are going to do for that, you are going to take the distance of first order maxima from the central maxima. This will be y1. Next to that you have to take distance of point on the right hand side with respect to central maxima, that will be 0.2. So only 3 readings you are going to take with respect to first order of the spectrum. Distance between grating and screen, distance in between central maxima and first order maxima on the left hand side, distance between central maxima and first order maxima on the right hand side. Rest part are related to calculations. Then what is done? Here y1 and y2, their mean is taken, so y1 plus y2 divided by 2 is done. From that y and d values one can calculate theta, because here we are saying the diffraction is happening over here. Diffraction means what? Who will tell? What is diffraction? Definition of diffraction?
It is the bending of a light from a particular surface.
Yes. Whenever light encounters with an obstacle, there will be a bending of light. So after bending, whatever is the change in angle, that can be calculated with the help of this mean y and distance between grating and screen. So that is done over here. To calculate that, formula is theta is equal to tan inverse of y by d. Okay. So once you get theta, you can take sin theta. Of course, that facility is available with your mobile phone's calculator. So from that you can calculate sin of theta. Next to that, in diffraction only, we have seen one formula. That is nothing but the condition to get the diffraction of light. That condition was a plus b sin theta is equal to n lambda. So same formula is given over here, but just little bit arrangement is done. So lambda is taken on the left hand side, so remaining part will be on the right hand side. According to that, the formula is lambda is equal to a plus b sin theta divided by n. Now, who will tell what is a plus b? What is that factor a plus b with respect to diffraction of light? Is the screen visible to all of you?
Ma'am, it is the distance.
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Ma'am, it is a distance between two rays.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Yes.
One particular nomenclature is given to that factor a plus b, and in theory classes we have seen that factor, we have calculated the value of a plus b. So if you can recall that, I was expecting that answer.
मॅम फिगर आठवते पण ते नाव नाही आठवत आहे.
Okay, so we have seen this a plus b factor with respect to diffraction grating, and we have called that a plus b factor as grating element or grating constant.
Ma'am, it is inch upon number of lines.
It is? Yes,
maybe
inch upon number of
upon-
lines, or you can say centimeter upon number of lines. So that is the formula for a plus b, but basically the name given to that factor is grating element or grating constant. Okay, so here the formula, this formula you have seen. Is the screen visible to all of you? Can you people see the formula?
Yes.
N lambda is equal to a plus b sin theta. That was the formula that we have seen. N is nothing but the order of spectrum. Here we have taken, if you are taking a distance of first order maxima, left and right hand sides first order maxima, then you are going to write order of spectrum as 1. If you are taking distance for second order maxima, you have to write 2 over here. Okay, so like this. So basically we perform the experiment only for the first order. So by default this value will be 1. Next to that, lambda is equal to, lambda is nothing but the wavelength of laser light that you have to calculate. A plus b is the grating element, and we have seen its formula 1 inch upon number of line. So whatever diffraction grating we generally use, it is having 15,000 lines per inch. So here the formula is taken 2.54 divided by 15,000. So that factor comes 1.69 into 10 to the power minus 4 centimeter. Here the unit will be centimeter. Okay. So by doing all that things, you have to calculate the value of lambda. In the result section, you are going to write the value of lambda. Then of course the HENE laser source, they are having their standard values. So you have to search what is the standard wavelength for HENE laser light. You will get that answer from the Google. So you have to write that answer over here. Next you are going to calculate the percentage error in your calculation. Okay, so percentage error will be difference of that two values, standard value minus calculated value, and their percentage will give you percentage error. Okay. So this is the procedure, and this is the part of discussion related to diffraction. Now I would like to show, as I said, the image that you can see on the screen is Dr. B.G. Toksha, and he is the physics faculty in our college. He has developed certain virtual laboratories for you people, but all are not published yet. The Newton's ring related practical that you have done virtually, that lab is developed by the same person, Toksha sir, and even he has prepared the virtual laboratory for diffraction practical also. But as it is not published yet, what he has done, he has created the working video of that particular laboratory, and at the same time he has shared this particular PPT with me, so that I can share the preliminary part of that virtual laboratory with all of you. Okay, so we are going to see how is the virtual laboratory of diffraction related practical. Okay, so basically whatever we are talking about, the wavelength of light that will be in the visible region of electromagnetic spectrum. Already you people have seen the electromagnetic spectrum. So basically visible light related wavelength you will get for the this particular practical. Okay, so basically here whatever you can see, he has given two types of diffraction grating. One diffraction grating is known as transmission grating, another diffraction grating is known as reflection diffraction grating. So here whatever block you can see, I'll take the laser pointer. Okay, so whatever block you can see over here, consider that is nothing but the laser source. Then here the solid part and then hole, solid part and hole, this particular structure is nothing but the diffraction grating. Okay, here you can see this particular line, solid line, it is nothing but the screen. Okay, so same things are repeated over here. Here you can see the laser source is provided, then diffraction grating at some different position is provided, and screen you can see as it is. Okay, so here we will see what happens in transmission and reflection grating. So whenever light from the laser source gets incident on the diffraction grating, you will get diffraction pattern on the screen by the virtue of transmission, if you are using the transmission grating. Okay, so two types of diffraction grating are available. So one is transmission grating, another one is reflection grating. In our laboratory we use generally transmission grating. Okay, in case of reflection grating, what will happen, whenever a light will fall upon a reflection grating, there will be a reflection of light and you will get a diffraction pattern on the screen. Okay, so that kind of differences you can see with respect to that two gratings. Okay, if you see the diffraction grating in actual, then this is the image. Here the company name is provided who has designed and developed the diffraction grating, and as I said, with respect to any grating the number of lines may vary. So here how many number of lines are there in this particular grating, that is mentioned. So here you can see 600 lines per millimeter are there on this particular grating. So any of the grating whenever you will use, you will see such kind of factor over there that will specify, that will be to facilitate you to calculate A plus B. Okay, so to calculate A plus B you have to take reference of this particular value. Then another grating you can see over here, it is a linear diffraction grating. Here you can see 1000 lines per millimeter is the factor provided on it. Okay, and this thing we have already seen. So whenever a light falls upon a diffraction grating, here you can see light source is used. So whenever light falls upon diffraction grating, you can get various kinds of spectra. Diffraction spectra is visible on the screen. Okay, so as I said in the procedure, what you need to do, you need to first this laser on, then here it is mentioned what is A plus B. A plus B is nothing but this distance plus this distance. Okay, So that factor is denoted with the letter D. So D is equal to A plus B. Next to that, whenever we will insert diffraction grating in the path of light, we will get the diffraction pattern on the screen. In diffraction pattern, here you can see the central spot is provided. Next, on the left hand side there will be first order. On the right hand side you can see again the point related to first order. Then on the left you can see second order point and second order point. Okay, so basically, as I said, with respect to this practical, what you are going to do, you have to calculate this distance x, which is mentioned over here, or in our table we have mentioned it with letter D. So you are going to calculate distance between this grating and the screen and put it that value in the observation table. Next you have to calculate this distance, first order maxima from the central spot on the left hand side, and same you are going to do over here. Okay, so if you are considering the first order, if you are considering the second order also, then you have to see the distance of first order from the central spot on both the sides, and then you have to use this particular formula, a plus b sin theta is equal to n lambda. Okay, so basically such kind of parameters you will see if the virtual laboratory gets published. Okay, so here whatever are the parameters, laser source, diffraction grating, all that things you will see over there. Okay, so basically he has taken the simulator snapshot and are provided here, and in the video you will get the actual working. Okay, so basically here the laser panel and grating panel, screen panel and grating details are provided. So if the diffraction grating is not in the path of light, you will get the single spot on the screen, but if diffraction grating is there with proper distance in between grating and screen, you will get certain points on the screen, and points will be like this. Here you can see at the middle high amount of intensity is there, and then intensity goes down. So here the things are provided with some scales so that you can measure the distance between grating and screen, and whatever this y1 and y2 is expected, that is also calculated with the help of this graph paper. Okay, so for your reference such kind of arrangement is done over here. Okay, so if you are having any doubt, we will have discussion for 5 minutes. Next to that I am going to share you the video link, so that in actual while seeing the simulation you will take the readings. So is there any query from your side? Is there any query? Are you getting whatever I have said?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you people are having no query, then what I'll do, just a second, I'm taking the video link. Okay, so in the chart section I have posted the link. Just a second. So basically this particular video is of 16 minutes. So we are having only 10 and 15. Okay, so we are having 25 minutes with us. So go for the video, see the video with a great high concentration. Then whatever readings are provided with respect to D, y1 and y2, collect that readings, note down that readings in your laboratory manual, then perform the calculations with respect to lambda, and then find out the percentage error. Okay, so that is the part that I expect now from you people. So if you are having any doubt with respect to this, just ask, otherwise you can go for the video. Is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then the important question, when you are going to upload all the 3 practicals on the site, Moodle site. When I want the time, today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow.
Ma'am,
Monday.
Yes, ma'am, Monday.
Okay, so Monday, whatever deadline you can see on the Genomio site, don't go for that. That is, I have put it, if some difficulty is there at some students end, it is not like that ki if 20th is the deadline, you are going to submit it on 20th of the month. Okay, whenever a practical is over, the same day or maybe the next day, you have to upload the practical. Otherwise, this I have already mentioned to you, if you delay the process, of course there will be reduction in the marks. So today, of course, you will complete the 3rd practical. For your convenience, we are giving 2 more days. On Monday, I could see the 20th submission for all the 3 practicals. Okay,
yes, ma'am.
so all have to submit, and if you are having any difficulty for the uploading, for the calculation, any of the part, that you can ask to me at any moment of time. You can text me, you can WhatsApp me, you can call me, no problem. But the job should get done by Monday. There should not be any extension for that. Now go for the video, and in between, if you are having any query, I am here in the meeting only. Even I'll suggest, don't leave the meeting, because I have to take your attendance. So you go for the video, don't leave the meeting, I'll get your attendance. Once you complete the video watching, just let me know. Okay, because you are having TGS at 4:15, so you have to go for that also. So I'm not going to extend more. So once you've done, just put done in the chat box and you can go for the TGS meeting. Okay, so thank you for this practical. Watch the video and let me know your queries. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.